Cesar Altagracia is a name you may have heard over the previous few months, as he had a verbal agreement to sign with the San Diego Padres once he turned 16, for about $4 million, until it was found out that instead of his stated age of 14 years old, he actually was a ridiculous 19, half a decade older than he had said. This obviously has stirred up quite a bit of press around age verification coming out of the Dominican Republic, but it also raised an interesting question to me, because you see, back in 2022, he had competed in the U12 Baseball World Cup, making him the only verified 17-year-old I know of ever to play at this age level. So I went back and dug up some old footage of him in this tournament, so we can try to get a sense of what it's like when a 17-year-old faces off against a group of 12-year-olds. Now, before we get too deep into the footage, I do want to state that he definitely dominated this tournament, batting .455 with 1,071 OPS along with the home run and 10 stolen bases in just 8 games, while playing third base and pitching in a few games as well. With this being said, what really stood out to me when reviewing his footage was how well he blended in as a 12-year-old, because he quite simply didn't have that level of dominance you'd expect from somebody about to become a legal adult. For some context, here's Juan Soto when he was a year younger than this. Now, I'm not saying the kid was ever going to be Juan Soto, but it would have been pretty clear if Juan had tried to compete in the U12 tournament that he didn't belong there. Altagracia? Not so much. Here he is, even striking out versus a verified 12-year-old from the United States curveball. Here he is doing it again versus a verified 12-year-old from Korea. Don't get me wrong, these are in no way bad pitches, especially from a 12-year-old. But for somebody who could be a junior, possibly even a senior in high school in the United States, it's certainly not a good look. His fielding at third base wasn't too impressive either, as he made this routine play look probably a little bit harder than it should have, and then let this ground ball go right past him. Again, if he was actually 12 years old, these plays wouldn't really stand out for not being made. But at 17, let's just say there's quite a few 17-year-olds in any high school in the USA that could make those plays. And finally, his pitching was pretty good for the tournament, as in one game versus Mexico, after balking in the first inning, he managed to go 5 innings and give up just 2 runs, while throwing up quite a few strikeouts. He even managed to post the lowest ERA overall in the entire tournament. But do you know what his fastball speed was? Sitting anywhere from about 70 to 75 miles an hour. From Little League distances, that's the equivalent of about a 90 to 95 mile per hour fastball. But when you're 17 and should be pitching from 60 feet 6 inches, that's just a low to mid 70s straight ball. Nothing very impressive. I think it's pretty clear after reviewing this footage, and even some of his updated tape from Baseball America, why the Padres would distance themselves from the Dominican infielder after learning about his age. It's not just that he lied, but the fact that he actually was this much older obviously truly diminished his projectability down to almost nothing. What a terrible situation, and certainly an eyebrow-raising one for all MLB scouts currently looking into players from this area.